In this video, I want to talk about how you can stay positive when it feels like the world is crumbling down around you. No matter when you're watching this video, chances are there's something going on which might make you feel scared, afraid, a bit down. Like right now, there's various different things going on in the world, but I want to make this video attractive at any kind of time and useful at any kind of time. So what I want to talk about in this video is how to focus, how to stay positive, how to keep moving forward and focusing on your goals when it feels like the whole world is crumbling around you and everything's going a little bit to pot. So this video has come about because if you look around at everything that's happening in the world at the moment, no matter what country you're in, there's probably something going on that's pretty crazy, that's pretty scary, that can be intimidating and that can just get you down. And I think now more than ever, it's important to understand how to keep a positive mindset, how to keep focused and to keep believing that the future is going to be better, and how to just make things happen in your life despite everything going on around you and feeling like the whole world is crumbling all around you. So last week I sent out a daily email to my email subscriber list that was chatting about the news. So I think you'll hear a lot and you'll see it all the time on social media that you should stop listening to the news and just completely shut yourself off from it. Now I don't believe that, to be honest, but I also think on the other side of it that if you spend too much time consuming the news every day, checking in multiple times a day and reading it all, it's going to get overwhelming. So in that article, what I did was I looked at a screenshot of BBC News and I looked at the common stories on there. I think there was about 15, and I just pointed out what they talked about and the words that they use. Now, every single story on that page, that half page, was negative. And they all use really scary words to hype everything up. So the stories aren't told just as they are. They use really crazy, really angry, really terrifying words to build that story up and make it seem even worse than it is. And if you look at the footage, it was footage of people in hospital, of ambulances, of riots, of death, of all sorts of scary things. Now I went onto the website just to write my email, and in the couple of minutes I was on it, I found myself getting overwhelmed and getting a tight stomach and thinking, oh, this is awful. Now, you want to get the news. It's important to know what's going on around you to be a well-educated citizen. But on the other side of it, if you do spend loads of time filtering through the media, it's easy to get overwhelmed and just feel negative and down about everything that's going on. So my point with this is that watch the news, fine, but maybe limit the amount of time that you spend on the news, on the media, to make sure that you're not getting completely overwhelmed. Make sure you spend some time focusing on what's positive out there as well. So there are positive news stories happening as well. They just don't end up being on the first page of every paper. And make sure as well that you limit the time. So limit yourself to maybe 10 minutes a day. Get the news and then check out from it, and then you can focus on positivity. So the first thing that I want you to be really aware of is just be aware of what you're taking in from the news and what you're letting to get inside of you, because that will massively affect how positive and how focused you feel. So my next point, and you could talk all day about this, is to be aware of how you use social media and how you let it affect you. Now, social media is an amazing thing. It connects us, it allows me to have a business from home and, to help hundreds of thousands of people on social media. It's an amazing thing, but it also comes with its downsides as well. For every Facebook post I put on, there'll be people putting negative comments. For every story out there that's positive, there'll be a negative story or some fake news on there. It's one of those things for your mental health that you need to be aware of how you use social media. So I think there's a few things to just be aware of with it. I'd say first of all, go on a Facebook purge and delete any kind of negativity you see on there. There'll probably be the odd friend or family member that only posts negative things, moaning all day, every day. Now, if you don't want to unfriend that person, something really clever you can do is go on the profile and you can click unfollow. And what that will do is it will mean that you stay friends with them, so you're not going to offend your sister or whoever it might be. And you stay friends with them, but their posts won't show up on your feed. And I regularly do this. If there's people, friends, family, or whoever it might be who always moans, I'll often unfollow them so we stay connected, but I don't see the posts every day. And you can do the same thing for what business pages you follow, what different things you follow on there, what groups you're in. Don't be afraid of unfriending and unliking people and unfollowing things to make sure that you fill your feed up with positivity rather than negativity, or at least limit the amount of negativity. Then the other side of it is you need to make sure that you go out and follow a load of positive pages. So follow pages like MTB Fitness, but all other pages from people who only post positivity. You know, it can be celebrities. Look at Will Smith is a good example. You very rarely see him posting something negative or low energy. And what that means is that when you do spend your time scrolling through social media, which we all do, you're going to have positivity thrown at you as well as the negativity that's sprinkled in there. And so I would say with the time that you do spend on social media, make sure you've got as much positivity as you can on there. And then make sure that you don't spend hours and hours and hours and hours scrolling through social media, which is easy to do because there's been billions of pounds spent on making it addictive. Just be aware of that and understand that if you spend an hour scrolling through Instagram or Facebook, it can go like that and you're going to probably feel a bit shitty at the end of it. It's not going to improve your mood. So be aware at times like this when you feel the world is coming down, how much time you spend on social media. My next point is to make sure that you focus on keeping you high energy. So you want to focus on the big three: your nutrition, your sleep, and your training. So without these three things nailed, you're going to really struggle to keep a positive mindset and to feel happy and focused and like the world isn't ending and that you can focus on what you're doing. So make sure you eat well on a daily basis. Make sure that you sleep well, because if you don't get enough sleep, anxiety and fear is way more likely to creep in. And also make sure you train as well. It's a massive reliever of stress, and it also helps keep your good hormones up and your endorphins high to make you feel good and to make you feel happy and full of energy. So looking after yourself physical health is massively important when it comes to looking after your mental health and to help you stay positive and stay focused. Now my final point is to dive a little bit deeper into what positivity is. I think there's a bit of sort of a misbelief, if you like, that positivity and having a positive mindset is about ignoring anything negative that's going on around you. And in reality, that's not what it is. Having a positive mindset is about being able to look at all the things that are happening and to be able to look at them objectively and actually assess what's going on, and then use a positive mindset to be able to tackle those things. So if you're in 50 grand's worth of debt, a positive mindset isn't about ignoring that debt and thinking everything's going to be okay, I'm going to win the lottery. It'd be about looking at that 50 grand's worth of debt and being like, right, it's there, and then coming up with a plan to tackle it. If you're fat and overweight and unhealthy, it's not about burying your head in the sand and pretending you're not overweight. It's about looking at it, assessing and saying, yeah, I am overweight, I need to lose some weight, it's unhealthy for me, and accepting all of those things, accepting the reality for how it is, and then using a positive mindset to actually tackle it and to actually come up with a plan to help you lose the weight. Because if you don't, you'll find that you just ignore it and the problem gets worse and worse and worse and worse. So a positive mindset isn't fluffy. It's not about just pretending the world is better than it is and ignoring any problems. 'Cause if we do that, those problems just get bigger. It's about being aware of what the problems are and then having a positive mindset so that you can tackle them all. And that's what it's all about. You can apply it to anything, to life, to riding, to business, to fitness, to health, to absolutely anything. You use a positive mindset to tackle those negative problems that are in the world and that are in your life. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's been a little bit different, but it's just things that have been on my mind over the past few days. It's not necessarily directly mountain bike related, but having a good positive mental attitude and a good mindset is essential for riding, for fitness, for everything. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know if you want me to do more kind of videos like this where I ramble about various different ways of keeping positive. And remember, follow the tips in this, surround yourself by positivity and keep yourself high energy. And remember that whatever you read, get it for what it is, but don't let all the words around it hype it up and build it up into something that it's perhaps not. So I hope you really enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time for another MTB Fitness video.